Welcome to Takes in 10. This is a new show that I'm launching. See, there's a clock right here in the corner. I have 10 minutes. That clock stops, the video stops. No editing, no adding a post. Hey, go here, go there. We're going to talk about some takes here. I got the topics right here. But 10-minute show, going to be a new thing I'm running on the channel. Okay. Today's topic, the Kawhi trade to Toronto. How do I feel about it? The winners, the losers, how I feel about Toronto, how I feel for the Clippers. Let's get into it. Okay, first off, Kawhi Leonard is back in Toronto. First things first, I freaking love that. As an NBA fan, that one season he had in Toronto was so special, was so amazing. I'm so happy he's back there. And they're working on a contract extension. He's going to finish his career as a Raptor, which is just so beautiful. The package for Kawhi includes Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, a 2031 and a 2033 unprotected pick, 2030, 2033 second round pick and a 2027 pick swap. So two first round picks, a swap, and two second round picks. And then Brandon Ingram and Grady Dick. First off, for the Raptors, wow. Grady Dick, been an end of the bench guy, has not produced like you want him to. And then Brandon Ingram, he averaged 12 points a game in the playoffs on 30%, right? Kawhi Leonard is a killer in the playoffs. You're not going to get that out of Kawhi. You're going to get at least 22 points a game on great efficiency if you have Kawhi. He's going to give you at least a game. Like Brandon Ingram could not give you a game in the playoffs. And you have to look at it. Look, he played that poorly. Ingram played that poorly last year, and they still were almost in the conference finals. They still looked good against the Cavs in the semifinals of the conference. So Kawhi Leonard is a robot. He's a killer. Get him in the playoffs next to Scotty Barnes. Man, I'm excited about that. And this might be the first time in Kawhi's career that he's not the best defender on the team. Maybe like his rookie year with Tim Duncan. But other than that, Scotty Barnes is probably a better defender than him right now. And you also have Colin Murray Boyles. You know, you have Jamal Shed. Sorry, excuse me. I'm trying to think fast here while the clock ticks. It's throwing me off a little bit. Those guys play defense like Kawhi. They're physical. They get in your face. They got long arms. They get in their stances. These are guys that Kawhi is like you joked about, wanting the guys to play like you. He has like clones of himself on this team. It's incredible. I'm so excited. You have a fun core of Emmanuel Quickly. You have RJ Barrett probably year two. You have Kawhi, Scotty, Colin Murray Boyles, or maybe you have Jakob Poeltl. Who knows about that 5-man? Either way, you're going to have CMB at your 5, or he's going to be your 6-man, which is super exciting. The defense of the team is going to be special. The offense of the team has some crazy high ceilings. Scotty Barnes was asked to do so much on offense last year, and to his credit, he did a lot. But to have that little bit of that weight taken off his back, same with Kawhi. I mean, him and Kawhi together, they can take some defensive weight off each other and offensive weight off each other. They're the perfect pairing in that regard. I'm just so excited to see it. With the Knicks winning last year, I think that there's blood in the water. I think everybody says, oh, if the Knicks can win, we can win. You see all these moves, the Sixers going after Jaylen Brown, Minnesota going after LaMelo Ball. Teams are buying in. And I think that, if the Raptors were that team in the conference finals next year or in the finals next year representing the East, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. It'd be a little like, it's going to be a tough path to get there. But, I go into coma right now and I wake up in the finals next year and it's them. I'm not surprised because Kawhi Leonard is incredible. And you put him next to Scotty Barnes, you put him next to, a second year Colin Murray Boyles, who I'm super excited about. Emmanuel Quickly, he's got to show some improvement. But he's, don't love the contract for him, but he still puts out. And then RJ Barrett, he shows his flashes. I'm just so excited for that, man. I'm so excited. I want to go to the Clippers too. Because the Clippers have blown it up. They did the Paul George trade. They gave up a lot of assets. You look back and they look a little dumb on all these trades, right? But they've pivoted and they've changed things up. They traded for James Harden, traded him away. They've done this. They've acquired assets now. Now you have Darius Garland. You have Keaton Wagler, who you got from the Zubac trade. Lucked out, you got the best possible pick you could have with that protection that the Pacers gave you. Keaton Wagler is a future right here. You get Brandon Ingram, who, plays pretty well. He had poor playoffs, but he had a really irregular season, was an all-star. You get him back. Benedict Mather potentially could be coming back. You get Ruby Hachimura, who signed today. You got Yannick Niederhauser. You also bring back your vets like Brooke Lopez. You have Derrick Jones Jr. You just re-signed Jordan Miller as well. I think he's a vet, but he's not quite in that young core. This team is not going to be good. I'm not saying they're going to be good, but they're going to be fun. They're going to be fun to watch. Derek Jones Jr. is a high flyer. You have, I Darius Garland. He had a lot of injury concerns, but if he can be healthy, God, he can be fun to watch. I'm excited to see Keaton Walker and see how he fits in the NBA. He was so fun to watch in college. If he can take that step and be awesome in the NBA like he was in college, surprise people like he did at Illinois, they could be awesome. Rui's such a fun defender to watch. He's one of those guys who are fun to watch on defense, and you don't get that at everybody. Plus, he can score the ball well. He shot like 55% from three in the playoffs. Just a super great guy. And then you have Brook Lopez around them as a core. Super excited to watch them. I don't know what the next move is, but they've acquired some picks back. They've acquired some young pieces back. They don't own their pick this year. It's going to the Thunder because, of course, it's going to the Thunder. Every pick ever, if you don't own it, it just feels like it's going to the Thunder. They're getting that pick, and you can't have the sunk cost fallacy here. You have to just accept that pick is gone. Go do your best out there. If you're bad, you're bad. You're not. I don't think you're going to be competing for a championship or even a playoff spot, maybe a play-in spot. But this is a core you just got to build around, see who fits, see who doesn't fit. You could see this team in a couple of years, using the right assets, finding the right guys, finding their right niche, and being a competitive team. Like, we didn't think the Suns were going to be very good this year. The Suns made the playoffs. Yeah, they got embarrassed by the Thunder, but so does everybody else. They still had a good, fun team. That this could be this year's Suns team. Not saying this team is as talented. I mean, obviously they don't have Devin Booker on their team. They don't have like a Dylan Brooks on their team who really took a step up offensively, and then also with the awesome defense. Maybe Rui takes a step up. I don't see him taking that big of a leap. But this could be a fun young core with a fun young team. Something the Clippers haven't had. They've either had, far-fetched finals, aspirations. They did have the one run with Paul George when Kawhi was hurt, made it to the conference finals. I think it's their only conference finals appearance as a franchise, but Kawhi couldn't be healthy for that. And before that, it was kind of sad. And then you had good Chris Paul era before that. And before that, you look back the eras before that, yeah, they had some okay guys on the roster, but you have to go back to the Buffalo Braves before they were even competing for anything, or had guys who were really, competent to the degree that you want for a championship. So I think you look back, Kawhi might end up being one of the greatest. There's an argument that Kawhi is the greatest player to play for the Clippers all time. Bob McAdoo, obviously, once he played for the Buffalo Braves. He's the guy who won MVPs. Chris Paul, obviously, you can't have that conversation about Chris Paul. Chris Paul's point guard, one of the greatest point guards of all time. But Kawhi Leonard, especially if he does anything else in Toronto, winning championships and finals MVPs for multiple teams. Just Kawhi Leonard is one of one. He's crazy off the court, crazy on the court. I'm just excited to see him playing for something again in a place where he's so beloved. I'm just so excited to see that. And like to touch on Toronto, we got a minute and 30 seconds, so we're gonna hustle on this quick. Touch on Toronto again. This Eastern Conference, I mean, I would say the Knicks got worse, the Celtics got worse. The Sixers did get better. Hawks are about the same. I don't think that they made any crazy improvements. Maybe backup point guard with the draft. Same with the Magic. They're about the same. The Pistons, Jalen Durant might be gone. They might be worse. They got rid of Beef Stew. He's gone. They probably got worse. We're looking at this Eastern Conference, and it's as wide open as ever been. Yeah, he got Giannis, but who's on that team? It's Bam, it's Giannis, it's Tim Hardaway Jr., and then me. I'm 6'5", 6'4". Is it you want me out there on the court? You look at this Raptors team, it's deep, good defenders, good shooters. I'm excited for them, man. We got 30 seconds. I'm going to call it here. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to have more topics where I'm probably going to get to the buzzer and it cuts off and while I'm in the middle of talking. So we're going to see it. Make sure I'm going to have my links below. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me, everywhere that I work. But I hope you like this. I really enjoyed this kind of content. I'm going to try to get at least 3 views out a week. And we're going to see it. I'm going to let it count down here. But yeah, like I said, links will be in the description. Follow Locked On Hornets. Follow my Twitter. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.